This is UnoPro back here with another video. Today I'm going to be doing the second part in my new mana rank series. For those of you who missed the first episode, basically what it is, going through the top decks on managlow.com for their mana ranks. I'm not affiliated with them, but basically it's a community site by a lot of really good players, and they tier the best decks in the game. And I wanted to show people who are aspiring to be competitive some gameplay of these decks, because there's not a lot of net decking sites around. There's not a lot of high level YouTube commentaries, that kind of thing. So I wanted to show some and go through the list and give you guys a bit of variety. So enough about that, let's get into the list. We are using No Way It's Jay's Cassyva list. Now Cassyva was ranked number 2 on the mana ranks this season, has just fallen out of number 1 I believe, and I think that's kind of how the general consensus with the community has been. Some people still consider it number 1. I personally think Kara is a little bit better. But anyway, let's get into the list. This is No Way It's Jay's list. I've actually used a decent amount before, so I'm pretty familiar with the list. I think it's pretty strong, but I haven't been playing a lot of Cassyva lately, I must admit that. So, go over the list. Anything, 3 Shrouds. People have started running a little bit less Shrouds than Abyssian, but still pretty important. And Abyssian doesn't have any in-faction dispel, so Shrouds are pretty good. 2 Spectral Blades. Yeah, it's still a pretty good card, but kind of dropping out a little bit. Duelyst and Primal Shieldmaster, not that much to say there, but the main thing you notice is no 3 drops, which is really important to recognize how important it is to ramp into 4 mana when you're going first, otherwise you miss your plays. But there's not really a lot of good 3 drops. I don't like Sojourner, so I think this is completely reasonable. The later end of the deck, 2 Dancing Blades, 3 Reap of the 9 Moons. This is definitely a flex spot. I would possibly switch them around if I was seeing heaps of Kara. This can be kind of weak against Vanar. Same with Duelyst, really. 1 run of the Undervault is our only draw. Basically, it's a very slow card. You spend 5 mana and basically you don't affect the board at all. So it's one of those cards where you need to recognize early in the matchup how important it's going to be if you're ever going to play this card, because the matchups you need it, you'll have time to find it. But since it's only a one-off, if you replace it, there's a good chance you won't see it again for the rest of the game. So be careful when replacing this and try and have some planning of if you think you're going to use it. In the late end, pretty standard. The Zen Rui is interesting, but still pretty good. Also helps counter Zen Ruis against Shadow Sister and Duelyst Tombstones. Obviously 3 Revenant, and then 2 Vulpur Reaver, 2 Spectral Revenant. Vulpur Reaver's a card that's not as popular anymore, but still really good. Just a nice threat. And I really like, now that Shadow Sister's in the deck, you just play all these good Abyssian threats and neutral threats, and you just curve out, and then you can stabilize. Just like fight for the board, and then you win late game, and you can stabilize with Shadow Sisters. So just curving out, playing good minions is a pretty good way to play this deck for the most part. And then the Bloodborne spell is obviously pretty strong. Now, for those of you who didn't see the roundtable, there is going to be changes to Shadow Creep with the new expansion, I believe. And basically what's going to happen is Shadow Creep will always do 1 damage. But there's a bunch of new changes to that. People keep saying that it's like so weak and they've destroyed destroyed Shadow Creep, but we haven't seen like any. We're close to seeing like 6 cards on the new expansion, and people are saying Shadow Creep is bad. Like, maybe wait till we see the cards, guys. But it will be a little bit of a different playstyle, so we'll see how that goes. Should be interesting, but I think it's still a deck that's going to be around. It's going to be really good while it's still in the same state. So it's worth learning, worth playing, and definitely going to be very good at climbing. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully, I can find a game soon. Anything else to talk about? I have just got off the phone. I've been trying to organize a new internet provider, and basically the reason I'm doing that is my internet, it's okay, like it's decent for the area, it's the best provider normally, but there's a new company that's come in and they can offer like way better speeds, and so if I can get that actually organized, then I will be able to stream every day, which is something that's just impossible for me to do right now. So no promises, but just something to keep out for. I'm looking to potentially be able to stream all the time. Anyway, we did find a game. Let us see how we go here. So Shadow Nova is a card you can sometimes keep, but in the slower matchups, I just don't know if the Kara is that matchup. I kind of just want early. I think I'll get rid of this. Well, no, we gotta get rid of Shadow Nova. So it's between these. I think I like getting rid of this, just because it's not really good against Vanar. They have so many cheap answers to it, and you spend 5 mana on their Chromatic Cold Blood Teal. It feels really bad, and even if it lands against Kara, they're full of 2 drops. So not a card I like. These two can kind of affect the board a little bit more. But obviously this hand is not very good. So I think we'll stick with the same plan. Replace Shadow Nova. So obviously this is better. It looks better on curve and you can save the effect, but we really want to ramp into 4 mana, so we're going to play this. If he has Blood Tear, obviously that sucks, but we kind of have to risk it. And it's not like Moore does anything unless he has another 2-drop. So this is like really bad against Cassyva, against Kara, because normally the only way they kill a 2-drop is Blood Tear plus Moore. And even then it's not that bad for you all the time. This can be kind of awkward if he has Blood Tear. But I mean, hand doesn't really need to ramp that hard. Okay. Blaze Hound. I don't think we want 2 dispels. Huh. This is kind of awkward. So I think, are we ever going to Spectral Blade and dispel here? That seems so weak. But I don't really want to let him get onto 5 mana. But maybe I have to. Probably should play around Zenrui though. Do I just play it on the mana tile? Then he just trades both in and he doesn't even clear his Blaze Hound. This is really tough. Maybe I just play it here. Do I just play it here? I hate surrendering so much of them. I have to do it just for curve reasons, I think. We'll just play it really safe. You have to play around Zenrui, I think. Because we can't Zen, like, turn after it doesn't matter because we'll have our own Zenrui, but here it does because we're not going to be able to get to 5 most likely. It feels so bad giving a Kara player who's going second 2 mana tiles though, because Kara is so good at abusing it with a full hand. There's just so many low cost minions, they can adapt really, really easily. I mean, if we had any of our other 4-drops, like even double 2, even just any 2-drop apart from this, we can just 2-drop Spectral Blade and avoid this really awkward scenario. But we can't play this on here, and yeah. And Duelyst Promise Must, we just play anywhere aggressively, and this is not a good 4-drop. Okay, but it gets a lot of value. Like, it's nice to just have it here sometimes, and I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. Zero World, he's not. Surely you won't let me have this mana tile. Surely not. Even now, we're not looking like that good here. If he lets me have a tile, though. If he lets me have that tile, please. Just, why would he let me have that? That's insane. Alright. Okay, next time Bloodborne spells online, so I think getting rid of Zenrui is fine. No one really runs Duelyst anymore, so there's not really much we're hoping to steal ever. So we'll get rid of Zenrui. I mean, there's not. What else is there possibly here? There's nothing else, right? Yeah. If this was in range of one of the 4/3s, maybe we can consider plays where we ping, we Spectral Blade one, and play something else like a spell. But here we just take the Dancing Blade value while we can get it. Like, it doesn't feel great to play this into Blaze Hound. I don't really feel like I need to attack in here with either. Like, let's just let it get some value. Clear a minion at one point, and I don't think trading is good. We're definitely the control player in this matchup. Is there any merit to going here instead? Nah, not really. Let's leave it there. I was thinking like, nah, it really doesn't matter. It's probably better to leave it here because then he can't like more here and kind of block me on this zone a little bit. I don't know. That's like such minor stuff. But it's good to think about. It's always, when you have free time, you might as well use all your time. So So I don't know, I may actually consider replacing this just because it's always going to be a risk. Though we have seen an aspect of the fox. Let me move stick, okay. That's completely fine. More. You know what, I'm going to replace this. I'm just never going to feel good about playing it. I can find plays until then. So we're going to miss a Bloodborne spell. Unless we make a really weak play. Like, what are our other options here? It's like Spectral Blade and we ping something and then we dispel something. The fact that this is a dispel and not like a proactive 2-drop means it's so awkward. So I think we just play this, right? Is there any world where we do this and then attack? Not really. I don't care about him. Yeah, we'll just play it here. And then we also need to consider what we're doing with this. So I don't know if I want to attack in. Maybe I do want to attack in. If I attack in, I think I do. I'm not gonna attack here though. Like I probably could justify it here, but I don't think it's needed to. We still win the long game here. And just because of the fact that I have another minion on board means that like Moors and Blood Tears need to help out here as well. So like if he just has Blood Tear as something that affects the board, then he has to Blood Tear this instead. So I get a lot of value out of this. Otherwise, I would feel like I needed to move it up here. So I just avoid the clean 3-4 trade into the 3-1, 3-3. Maybe that's not a problem because you have ping, but it just felt awkward to do that. So I don't know. Well, Shadow Nova is like not going to be that good this game. The first one for sure. Like, most is going to be like 5 damage, and that's why Shadow Nova is really not that OP. So I like having this. We have some really nice tempo cards here. So once again, we're like 1 mana off doing anything cleanly. Alright, Radiant Undervolt's probably not going to be that good. So this definitely seems like an option to do this, and ping. We could consider going Spectral Blade, Duelyst, but that feels a bit awkward. Because Duelyst is the same problem with Reaper of the 9 Winds. I mean, maybe we should just get it out there, but I don't know. I really would like to get another Shadow Creep beforehand. And positioning of the Primus Fist, I could put it behind me. Like, I could do this, play around Dancing Blades. I can go here, play around like just attacking in a ping. I think that might be better. Can't play around Zone really, but I don't know if that's that big a problem. Let's just start by pinging. Wait, I do. How do I want to position? If I go here, I'm not using the zoning potential of this at all. No, I'm perfectly happy to play from range here. Just get over here. Like, maybe you could argue that I'm really far ahead so I could play around Avalanche. But even then, it's not that big a deal. I mean, when you know that you're going to be playing, like you play better from distance, obviously I play way better from range than he does in this matchup. It's really favourable to just always play your minions safe, because they're going to come to you anyway, so you can attack nearly anything, and you don't get, the way you get punished by playing so safe is they just run away and avoid damage, but we don't care about that at all. I mean, so that's clearly what he's going to do, but I don't care. I mean, Dispel is getting better and better, but I wish I had ping at this turn. Maybe we just Demonic Law as a ping. Nah, I think I'd rather Dispel. So we'll get rid of Healing Mystic in that case. Dispel. I think we play the Shield Master instead of the Duelyst actually. Even though it seems like always seems like a good Duelyst. So where do I want my Shroud to be? I think I'm happy with it here. Yeah. Come in, we'll swing. We'll get a little bit close. I feel like this may just be better. Well, Hollow Grove Keeper. Okay, so Hollow Grove Keeper is like could be a pretty bad card here. Duelyst. Maybe Zenrui is just that much more of a problem if you like Blood Tears Zenrui. Yeah. So obviously like these are both weak to different tech cards, but I think the Zenrui is just so much more threatening than the Hollow Grove Keeper. Plus I think Zenrui is more common. So we'll do this. I mean, there's arguments you can make that this is always going to be weak to Hollow Grove Keeper and this is only weak when he can kill it off, but it's very easy for him to find 1 damage. Could I have like Dispelled and then like played this here, not Provoke, and then play the Duelyst here and then run back, and then my Duelyst spawn like the Tombstone maybe out of reach, but I think this is just better. The worst case scenario is so much worse, and we're in a decent position. Shadow Nova is not doing a ton here, so we need to draw 2, and like obviously this is another reason why Duelyst is really a little bit worse. I talked about which tournament was, I think it was the Snow Chaser Finals. I was casting with Winter Muse and Lady Morelia, or Miranda, and we watched heaps of Kara versus Cassyva, and we talked so much in the matchup about how important it is to be so it was no words. Playing the minions when Cassyva plays the minions that aren't affected by Dispel easily. So Duelyst and Reaper moves. When you play them, you fall so far behind on tempo. But when you play Primal Shield Master, Dancing Blades that don't care about Dispel and those cheap removal effects, then the matchup suddenly got a lot better. Okay, so here, I think we just get rid of Primal Fist. So to me, the play that obviously stands out is just come in here, ping, and then play Shadow Nova, kill both of these. Is there another line? Well, there's lines like Repulsive, Demonic Claw, and then play both minions. It's actually not clear. Like at first, it seemed pretty easy, but I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards that line a little bit more. Yeah, I'm actually gonna do that. And I think we do just trade this in. So, I mean, maybe you could say I'm a little bit more scared of Zenrui in this line, but that means he's taking 5 damage. So, it's like he only has 3 cards, so like more Blood Tier Zenrui, and then even then he's only offensive. Like his offensive threats are like nothing anyway, so you probably just kill him. So I think this is actually just better because if I Shadow Nova, I kind of give up all my initiative here, and then he just like plays some more minions, and I don't draw a Revenant, I don't draw a Nova, and then like suddenly I'm behind on board. So I think just keep the play that get your minion damage in while you can, and then you. Okay, so Cryogenesis, Zenrui, it's not the worst here. If he doesn't have Zenrui or Grovekeeper, then we probably just win. Cloaker. Okay. Oh, okay. Does that save him? So we have. That'll be 5 damage. 9, 11. Exact lethal. Pretty sure. So it's 5, 7, 9, 11. Yeah. No miscounting, no misclicks, I don't think. And that should be game. Okay, so a pretty good one. I actually am in the camp that I believe Kara is at least has a slight edge against Cassyva, but it can be closely. It really depends on the draws of Cassyva play. I drew Primer Shield Masters and Dancing Blades now, which is just a lot better than Duelyst and Reaper of the Nine Moons. So that definitely worked in my favor there. And you really need to pressurize Kara. If we can even threaten their life total early, then that's a big difference, because the Kara player really wants to be hitting the Cassyva player with that consistent damage by just trading with the generals each turn. So there we saw that Kara had to actually run away from me, and once they have to run away, then it gets very awkward. So definitely like a lot still to be discovered in this matchup, but I think Kara does have a bit of an edge. Liner. Liner is an interesting one. It really depends on how they play it, what they draw, and also what you draw. I think it's pretty good. I'm looking for stuff like Duelyst. Obviously, Demonic Claw is really good against Ironcliffs. But if they're running Magnetize, which is something that people like Noah's J have actually teched in, then it gets a bit awkward. So here, this is like good against Duelyst, so I'll keep it. I want to get rid of one of these, but they're both pretty similar. This is greedier. I like this. I think it's just a little bit greedy to play Reaper 9 minutes, because more vulnerable to tempo swings. Give me a good luck, have fun. We can play it Adept, okay. Okay, 2 Dancing Blades seems like a little bit much. Double Duelyst is not bad. I'm definitely moving forward. I'm actually thinking about if I go for this like weird positioning where you go like minion here, and I think I may just do that. And if he plays like Silver Guard Knight right here, then I mean maybe I could have just gone for a blood tier positioning, but I don't hate this, because if he plays like Silver Guard Knight, then plays it right here. I don't know, maybe this is a little bit greedy. I should have thought about it a bit more. This is like quite an awkward hand, because this I really want this to do against Duelyst. No, I don't know. I probably should have gone for the other positioning here. I'm just gonna play it like this. I mean, the thing is, I'm not even gonna dial. Like, I'll probably Duelyst into Duelyst, but yeah, I don't know. That was probably a bit bad. I probably should have just done it like this, so it doesn't actually make that big a difference. Okay. A tiger? Wow. So we can get rid of the spell then, right? We're not facing Duelyst if that's the play. Okay, we just do this on the mana tiles. Gotta do better. I'm not like blocking damage. I'm just giving him more options. Not gonna trade. Still no answer to Ironcliff though, which is a little bit of a worry. That's how they win this matchup for sure. I just love playing Duelyst this early against Lionel though. Just stops their early game so much, and that's how they win this matchup, is through early game. Zenrui is probably worse most of the time than Dancing Blades in this matchup, but I may end up replacing the Zenrui just to have the versatility. Yeah. Ooh, okay. If it doesn't attack, that's really good Dancing Blades, but this is actually quite a big problem. Get rid of a Dancing Blades. So I can just Dancing Blaze and clear here. But this can actually get to be really problematic really soon. There's no, like, we can Demonic Law ping. Ugh, that's so bad. I'll just do this. Right, we'll just play our threats. I'm gonna do it like this. I really like this positioning. Like, want to make sure there's no way for us to get attacked by this cleanly. Plays around magnetize stuff a little bit because he can never hit us with this with magnetize. This isn't that big a problem. I'm happy to take this trade, or I don't know. Maybe we could have done something different, but maybe this is better up here and here. Okay. Interesting. So we have another turn where we can kill this, but another turn where it's awkward. I do have the Shroud in hand though, so maybe I can ignore it for a little bit and just be careful of not dying to it. Alright, Zenru is getting worse and worse. Let's get rid of it. Like, Vorpal Reaver just seems really good. Once again, missing out on a ping. I haven't been hitting our pings. That's okay. There's no point playing like way off curve to ping. Okay, so I think I just want to play the Vorpal Reaver. How do I play around? Next turn is Holy Immolation turn, so trade. If I play it here, and the Provoke stops this from reaching it. Vorpal Reaver, we cut off Magnetize. I think I like that. So this will go here. This will go here. So the only thing that can interact with this is here. Not going to get in range of that. No reason to. Especially if it's some kind of like gimmicky deck. And just box this up. So this is actually like very resilient. Like Holy Immolation 2-drop does nothing here. It's a bit weak to Sunbloom. That's definitely a slight concern, but I think that's a pretty minor one. It's been half an hour already, man. Cassyva games take a while. Okay, that is really not a problem at all. If there's a Sunbloom, that gets a bit annoying. But we have a lot of them. It's pretty lethal, right? So that's 12, 16, yeah, way overkill. Alright, so, yeah, that one wasn't too hard. Bit of it fortunate. I really like drawing early Duelyst. It's very, very important. And alright. Yeah, so early Duelyst is just super good against Lionel. They don't often run Zenru or Holographic Keeper, some do. But we had our own Zenru for Countertech. And it's the same thing I've talked a lot about with Cassyva. You kind of just want to curve out a lot of the time because you have these late game tools, you have stabilization with Shadow Sister. That has been half an hour. My last video went for like 55 minutes, so I kind of want to avoid that a little bit. So I'll try and remember to put the deck list in. I've been a little bit better with that. But Cassyva is still very, very, very strong. Definitely top 2, I'd say, or at least top 3. I personally would put it number 2. I agree with the mana ranks. If you want to find the mana ranks, look on managlow.com. Next one will be Aggro Magmar as I work down the list, and I think Tempo Argion and then Arcanist Songhai. So I'm looking forward to that one. I haven't actually played a lot of Arcanist Songhai. If you want to see more of these or other types of videos on my channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time, guys.